Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th ever Flutter Brigade Roundtable. I am your host, Ep8, and today we have a very special guest on with us, and that would be Grenadder.
Hello.
And of course, we have our regulars, Mond.
Hey ho, everybody. How you doing?
And the godfather of polls, Ed.
Whatever that is, okay, I remember what it is, but the point is, once again, it's a lie like the last 2 weeks, so yeah, I'm Ed, just Ed, nothing extra to it. Anyways, on with the show, folks.
No, you know it's not a lie because you wrote it, so it can't be a lie. But anyways, today's topic is going to be Season 5 and what we would like to see and our headcanons and all that sort of stuff. But before we get into that, we're going to do our usual episode breakdown. And this week's episode was Manifestation, or whatever the hell. Inspiration Manifestation. This is what happens when I don't have a script. So guys, what was your thoughts about that?
Mond, if you would like to go first, I will defend it, my point of view later.
Okay, alright, so I guess, went into this episode a little biased, but yeah, I honestly really couldn't find too much good in this episode. Let's just say this, I think the only good thing that I found was that Twilight actually, was rightfully indignant at the end, and that, she was responsible and cleaned up after Spike's mess. Which brings me to, the point that I want to make about this episode, is that I no offense to Megan McCarthy and Corey Powell, but this, episode just felt like the writing on it just felt lazy. It felt really, really just, not really up to the standard that I think most people have been used to who watch the show. And I mean, I don't know. I think most of the episode really, the idea of the episode was kind of nice. It could have worked, but at the same time, how they executed it was just really stilted and really contrived. I mean, the entire episode depends on Spike acting extremely, really extremely dumb. I don't know how someone like Spike could not realize that after pulling a lever like that, and a lever that's disguised as a book in the library, and a secret door opening up, and with this ominous, really narrow staircase with, leading to a thing with, an altar or thing with a tome that is, has spikes right on the cover. It's how can you not know that that's going to lead to trouble? You have to be a complete dumbass or completely oblivious, or both, to not realize that. And he goes up there and he's just oh, well, okay, this should work. And he's oh, nice, it has spikes, me too. And I'm oh my god, that's such a stupid line. But really, it just boils down to the fact that, Spike, we've seen him in this situation before, sort of, in Secret of My Excess, and it's he has to learn that, he can't let his feelings get in the way of certain things, in the case of the season 2 episode, Secret of My Excess, in the way of him, hoarding stuff or whatever, I don't know, but, and then in this episode, it shouldn't prevent him from being honest, but, they had to stilt everything so much that it just wasn't enjoyable, because honestly, I don't know, maybe I'm biased as a writer by, trade, that I see all those flaws, but I don't know. I really didn't like how they wrote it, and it honestly makes me think, why do they keep writing Spike episodes if they're not really performing all that well, and that there are a good portion of people in the fandom who maybe not a majority. I don't know. I've never actually gotten numbers on it, but like, a good portion of people think that, Spike-centric episodes aren't really ever all that great. And like, I mean, you can keep the guy as a character, but I don't see the reason for like even having him as the main, like focus of an episode. And like, I don't know, there are people who are I don't know, I guess arguing that like Rarity is a part of the episode, so it sort of softens that. And I don't know, I don't see that because she wasn't herself for most of the episode. She was possessed by the book for most of it. So like she's really kind of like a prop at that point, which kind of irritated me too because she's more a better character than just being a prop to teach Spike a lesson. It just seemed contrived. I couldn't find that much good with it. So my final rating on it is 2.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I pretty much like agree with like you 100% because myself, I didn't see a lot of good in that episode, but I'll get to mine in a minute. Grenadder, would you like to tell us your thoughts on the episode?
Sure. Well, I know I can't do something in depth. I never really think too deeply on a lot of the episodes, but for this one, I'd say, well, I enjoy almost any of the episodes I see, but this one was definitely one of the weaker ones I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, well, besides all the Spike talk you just went through, it felt like it was trying to cram so much into just 22 minutes, and they kept cutting little parts out I would have liked to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, all right, in an instant the town is cleaned up. And you have no idea how it happened until the last little line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to at least see a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fact that no one could have guessed Rarity right away. That was one thing that confused me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like gold and all that, it's like,
it's all the high-class stuff. It's like, all right, there's only one pony in that entire town that does that. So, it can't possibly be her.
No, not at all.
No, it's Sweetie Belle. Oh, my God.
But there was one thing you mentioned with Spike. He's always being portrayed as really, really stupid just to help get the point across, but just never works.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed just a trend. It's like season 2, near the start of season 3, people complained, Rarity doesn't get enough characterization. She doesn't seem generous at all. Season 4, we've seen so many episodes with her just showing generosity, but I've never heard a large outcry for Spike being smarter, actually growing more. It's there, but not as present as the other arguments.
This is true.
So that might be why they're just sticking to, he's stupid and he falls for things like this all the time.
Yeah.
Could be. Ed,
Yeah, that's true.
Ed, what's your thoughts?
I pretty much, I guess, well, I'm going to assume, Grenadder, you gave it, if you had to give it a score, would you give it a lower score from 1 to 10, first of all? Any thoughts on that?
I'd go with about a 4 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, well, in that case, and I'm sure, I mean, out of the 4 of us, I definitely gave it the highest rating. So I could definitely say this wasn't just a Mon thing or a Flutter thing. This seems to be something that probably is a 50-50 split in the fandom. Because I know when I was posting my tweets on it last night, I got a lot of people, a decent amount who supported or favored or retweeted, and other people were giving favorable thoughts on the episode. So this seems to be one of those episodes that really splits the fandom. I would definitely say I enjoyed it a lot more. I don't view it as a Spike-centric episode, even though he did write the lesson at the end. Look, if it was just an episode focused on Spike by himself, I would have probably given it a much lower rating. He's far from one of my favorite characters, but at the same time, I don't hate the guy, but I do think that writers seem to have a lot of trouble writing for him, much like they do for Applejack. I don't see, as far as making Spike dumber, I don't really see it that way. I look at him as like he's more or less always been kind of oblivious. And we got to remember, he's a young character. He's probably one of the youngest. He's even younger, arguably, than the CMC by maybe a year or two. I mean, well, they often refer to him, or maybe not as often anymore, but they refer to him a fair amount of times as a baby dragon, or like I would look at him as like a young child, 5 or 6 years old. And kids tend to be oblivious or eccentric and what we may call stupid, but at their age, it's not. I don't think that'd be the right way to classify that. So I don't really see a problem when Spike, finds this secret room and opens the gate there and finds that curse book. Like, I mean, yeah, but he's thinking in terms of, well, how can I help Rarity? She's in despair after this puppeteer didn't like her work, and she's all over herself because, we all know Rarity is very sensitive when she gets criticism on her work, and sometimes she doesn't take it very well. So Spike's just thinking of a way to cheer her up. So, like, he's maybe whatever thoughts he may have had in the back of his head, this book might be dangerous, that's not his priority. His priority is like, well, maybe this book, it looks like it's got something that might be able to, like some kind of spell that might be able to help Rarity. And being a young kid like he is, he might not think about the consequences until it's too late. So that's something I can look past and not like dwell on and be like, oh, well, this is just ridiculous writing here. I mean, I don't see it that way. I enjoyed the episode mainly because of Rarity's antics. Like, it was about time, I think, that we see Psycho Rarity. We've had episodes with Psycho Twilight, and of course we've had Psycho Pinky, the original crazy, episode that we got out of all the main sessions was with Pinky first. And then, but Rarity we've never really seen to that full stream until now. And I like how it was under the guise of dispossession from the book, because I don't see how she would have been so, crazy otherwise. I found it really interesting, the power that she had, that it amplified her creative talent and ability, because she was kind of like at a creative roadblock after the disappointment of the kind of, in her view, failing at creating that vehicle, that puppeteer's wagon for the puppeteer. She just hit this roadblock. She's like, oh, well, I can't think of anything better. I failed. I could have done so much better. And when Spike gives her that book and it amplifies her abilities after reading the spell out loud, I mean, it suddenly gave her this untapped potential. Like, everything she couldn't think of, it was all clear to her, albeit overboard, of course. It over-amplified her power and her magic and her creativity. So obviously there's something to her mentally in that state. And so, in the one hand, she's causing havoc all over Ponyville, making everything supposedly like really fancy and just looking really grand and beautiful. But at the same time, it's on a practical level, it's causing a lot of problems, right? First with Applejack and Granny Smith and the Apple Cart, and then all the buildings around Ponyville, and then of course crashing the Phillies party, turning the mariachi band into Octavia and them, and like all the kids are all disappointed, like, oh, this isn't the kind of music we want to hear. It's like, oh, well, I don't care what you think because I think it's fabulous, and in Rarity's mind, but I just found that really enjoyable. All her antics, I really loved that. And I was willing to overlook any of the flaws that the episode had with Spike and whatever. And having Owlicious kind of making all those expressions like, oh, oh, Spike, you dumbass, what are you doing? That's basically what he was saying, with his expressions and everything. Like, I just see the Spike being, like, his feelings towards Rarity was obviously clouding his judgment. And this was a test for Spike if he could overcome it if Rarity went too far. And it took a little bit of persuasion, but in the end, he was able to step up and tell Rarity, hey, you know what? I can't go on with this anymore. You're causing problems. I mean, I really care for you and all, but what you're doing is wrong, and this has to stop. And, of course, he didn't realize that would, turn off the spell. But, of course, if you go back and remember the last part she read aloud, when true words were spoken, basically it would disarm the spell and would disappear from her body. She wouldn't be possessed anymore. The one thing I found weird was that Spike digested that evil curse spell book, and nothing happened. There were no consequences. He just ate the thing like it was nothing. That's the one thing I felt like they could have, done more with. Like, really? That's it? It's supposed to be a powerful spell book, and he just ate it, and it's gone? That's it? Really? Okay. I mean, aside from that, I didn't have any real problems with the episode. Although, it was kind of rude, in a way, when Spike basically just, brushed off Twilight's frustration with him, like he didn't really learn anything, what he did was that bad. I agree with that point. That could have been done better. But I thought it was funny at the same time, because I've always seen Spike as kind of like a cheeky kind of like a smart ass because he's young and he gets away with stuff. And I've always found some of that funny, like comedic. I guess not everybody likes that, and maybe it gets tiring after a while. At least in this instance, I found it funny, if not exactly the most appropriate response he could have given to Twilight based on all the effort that she and, according to her own words, Luna and Cadence have to clean up their mess afterwards. Of course, we never actually saw that, but, But all in all, I'm not going to deny that Spike is really hard character to write for, and he's not exactly that, interesting and kind of a boring character sometimes. But I think that's more the fault of the writers than the character itself. But all in all, I think the fact that Rarity was there and the whole antics going on with her and the whole spell thing, I think that helped make it more enjoyable than if it had been Spike solo. I would have given it a much lower rating if that had been the case. So all in all, the flaws I'm willing to overlook for what parts I did enjoy. And I give the episode an 8 out of 10, which I know some folks will think, what are you thinking? But that's just the way that I saw it. I didn't go into it saying, oh, it's another Spike episode. Oh God, ho hum. I saw it's like, okay, this is Spike's there, and yeah, he wrote the lesson, but most of it focused, at least in my view, I was focusing more on the whole thing with Rarity, and Spike I was able to just ignore and not let it bother me. So that's why I give it that high of a score. So better than Some Pony to Watch Over Me, which I give a 7.5. But nowhere near as good as other episodes like Mod Pie and other stuff like that. But I definitely enjoyed this episode a lot better than the blandness that was last weekend's episode, which was Tradio, which I still never, probably my least favorite of the season. But it was definitely a breath of fresh air in my mind after last weekend's episode. So 8 out of 10.
I can kind of see where you're coming from to a point. Like, if you look at Spike as being a much younger character, then it would make sense. But I'm not willing to forgive them on this, because in season 1, Spike wasn't really as stupid as he is now. They've slowly made his character so stupid to the point that I could care less if he's on the show anymore. That's how bad it's getting for me anyway. Just because he used to be this important character, this most faithful assistant for Twilight, would do anything for her, whatever. But now it's just he's just, I don't know, he just does things without even putting any thought into it at all anymore. Just look at what they did with him in Spike at Your Service in season 3. They really, really made him look stupid in that, and ever since that episode, they've just been slowly degrading him, to the point that I'm almost willing to say that G3 Spike is more important than G4 Spike. And that's pretty harsh, I know, but that's what I do. I'm a harsh guy. I tell it like it is. You can, and as I always say each week, you can address your death threats to my YouTube, and I will make fun of you. No, but seriously though, I gotta go with what Mon said, 100%, and I'll give it the same rating he did, just for the sake of moving on. So, anyways, let's get into our main topic here, which is going to be, of course, season 5 and what we would like to see. So, who wants to start off with what they would like to see in season 5 and why?
I bet Ed has a long list, but it depends.
You can go first if you want, Mon. I don't mind.
Okay. So what I kind of look forward to in season 5 is that they kind of expand the show as much as they can, while not, sort of, I don't know, I guess maybe they shouldn't, I don't know if they have really been pandering as much this season. And honestly, that's not even really an issue. I just really want them to make sure that they I don't know. I find that during some seasons, they'll put a whole big emphasis on a few different characters, and they won't really give an equal balance to each. Yeah, I guess really I want to see more of certain characters that didn't get as much attention as they did before, in the last few, I guess the last few seasons. I don't know. I guess I want to see more of, I think I want to see more of the CMC in some senses, because we've seen them very sparingly throughout the last 4 seasons. And, season 1 had a few episodes, season 2 maybe a few here and there with individual episodes, and then season 3 you got 1 or 2. And then this season, you got a few episodes with the CMC characters, but I don't know. It'd be nice to have a better, a higher number of them. And I know this is going to sound harsh, but like I really hope the writers drop Spike out a little bit more, because like honestly, I hate to say it, but like he really is kind of getting boring and bland. Because if you keep a static character like him in the show the whole time, it's just gonna, like you're gonna have episodes that don't really go anywhere, that are rehashed and everything. So that's what I hope. I mean, like on a base level, that's what I hope for. So like some development with certain characters, and seeing certain groups of characters, or whatever, more and some less. So yeah.
That's all you want to see in season 4 or season 5?
Well, no, but I mean, I'd like to let Ed and Grenadder say.
This is true. So, Grenadder, what would you like to see in season 5?
Let's see. Right now, I'd like to see a couple more just Twilight-focused episodes. There have been barely. Well, yeah, I think the intro, and that was about it for this season.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple more Twilight episodes, just because she needs them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually want to see them try one more Spike episode. If they can pull off a Spike episode, it's amazing. And if they can't, then it's time to just stop trying those ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to see more places, actually, because they've got Rainbow Falls, which was a great addition.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to see what they can come up with.
Yeah, that would be.
For a while, it's just been Ponyville, Canterlot. Occasionally, they go off to the Crystal Empire. It's like, all right, there are a few neat places. I want to see more, though.
Yeah, like Appaloosa, Manhattan. They could retouch on them again. A few others.
Yeah.
There's a place that they haven't even brought up yet, Las Pegasus.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Vancouver.
Oh God, Vancouver. They had to get the Canadian. They had to get the Canadian pun in there. Those bastards. No. Ed, what would you like to see?
Oh, so many things. I have no idea.
If first of all, if you say you're OC, you're fired.
Whatever. I wasn't going to say that. Although it's not a bad idea now that you brought it up. But no, in all seriousness, you do know that that's what's going to come out of the rainbow, out of the key chest when they open it, right? It's my OC. But anyway, spoiler alert.
There's already been one OC in the show. We don't need more.
Yeah, the pony, the Pegasus with the kind of like the apparatus with the wheels on his hose at the end during that. That was an OC that got in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fully know the full story behind that, but anyways, no, I mean, I agree with expanding upon what Grenadder said. Like, I would love to see a lot more world building in season 5. I want to see more places. Season 4 did pretty well with that. We got Rainbow Falls. We got the old castle of the Royal Sisters being brought up again after not seeing it for like 3 seasons. I want to see like the Griffin Kingdom. Let's see more of that. That'd be interesting. Let's see more parts of Equestria that we haven't seen. Other cities or other different regions like jungles or like other places. I mean, just where the dragons are, their realm. Beyond that, I'd love to see, maybe villains a little bit more often than once every 2 seasons or whatever, if they can come up with good ideas. I hear we probably might be getting a new one at the end of this season, but obviously don't want to give anything away on that. But I'd like to see Trixie more, like as a friendly rival. Like now that she's been kind of reformed and all, I think we could still learn more about her. There's more potential. I think I'd like to see Zeccora's backstory. I think that'd be something good to see. That would be cool. I still hang on to hope that we might get some more, not in an episode, but more history on Celestia and Luna. That'd be very interesting. And I just want to see the CMC get their darn cutie marks already. We're going on season 5. I mean, if not all of them, at least one of them. I know somebody brought up an episode idea a while back. I can't remember where it was that I read it, but it was very interesting. What if they wrote an episode with the CMC and that one of them, any one of them, gets their cutie mark, and the other 2 still don't get it, and they have to adapt to like the disappointment of them not having it, but still trying to be happy for their friend. I think that'd be a nice little conflict there for an episode. It'd be pretty interesting to see how they work that out. Other than that, I mean, more the same, as with the exception of Spike episodes, of course. I mean, and I'd really, one thing I don't want to see Scott Sonborn in the credits list anymore in season 5. I want him gone. I want him gone after Some Pony to Watch Over Me, but more importantly after Trade Ya. Some Pony to Watch Over Me, there were some new things in it. It was an okay Met episode. Trade Ya, no, just no. He needs to go. He needs to get out of there. I don't want him for season 5. Bring Emma Larson back, please. Please. And keep Amy Keating Rogers. She has done a fabulous job this season. She needs to be back for season 5. Every episode that she has written in the season has been amazing. She needs to come back. If we lose her, it'd be a huge loss for this show. And then, like, all the other writers, the new writers that we had this season, I'm fine. Bring them back, just without Scott Sonborn. Everybody else is great. Other than what I've said, I don't know. I can't really think of anything else I'd like to see in season 5. Surprise me. I know the writers are good at that when they want to surprise us. So, I mean, more villains. Bring back Trixie. I'd like to see Gilda come back at some point. More world building. CMC get their cutie marks. More development, character growth, and progression. And just surprise us. And that's basically what I'm looking forward to in season 5. And, of course, more awesome songs from Daniel Ingram, because you can never have enough of those.
Mm-hmm.
You can always have too much. No, I'm just kidding. As for me, the one thing I want to see is Prince Flash Sentry. Just because I want him to marry Twilight, just so it can irritate the hell out of Ed forever and eternity. Because that would be the best, and I'm not even joking. Like, this is legitimately serious.
Yes, and then we have Prince Cream Puff in season 6, Mary Flutter's guy, and then they drop Luna from the show, and then let's see how happy the two of you are when that happens. So,
I can approve of it either way, and no. But, for season 5, I'd really like to see the CMC get their cutie marks already myself, because damn, it's going on 5 seasons. How long can you keep playing out the I really want my cutie mark now story? I mean, Apple Bloom alone has had too many of the I really want my cutie mark now stories. They're getting pretty old fast. So... they definitely need to give one of them or all of them the cutie marks. Something else I would like to see is, well, maybe they should start bringing in some newer characters, some new backup characters, because this way they won't be using the same ponies 10,000 times. Because, like, it's I know they do it to, like, cut back on time and to save costs on animation, but seriously, when you have, like, 12 Derpies in the audience, or 12 Colgates, or 100 Lyras, people start to notice that, hey, you're just copying and pasting the same damn pony over and over again. Dude, less of that, seriously, because it's just like, it feels like we're going back to those old ass like Flintstones cartoons where they'd be driving and they'd pass the same tree 9,000 times.
That's true.
So it just kind of feels like that's what they're doing with ponies at times. Like, it's like, yeah, it's fine to reuse them once in a while, but like, seriously, when I can see more than 12 Lyras on screen at a time, there is a problem there. It's like, yeah, I don't even know. As for, like, what else I'd like to see? Well, of course, with the whole Princess Twilight thing, which I'm still not a fan of, but whatever. We know that she's getting the castle. I mean, everyone knows that. So, spoilers, you can shoot me later, but whatever. I hope that she does finally become more of an important, like, role as a princess, where she has more duties. She actually has to, like, be the princess of Ponyville, or the princess of the library, or princess of something. She definitely needs to have more.
Princess of the library.
Yeah, she definitely has to have more than what she is now. She can't just play off the whole, I just want to be normal, I'm not better than everyone forever, because she is royalty now, which I still hate to say, but that's another story. But seriously though, like, in Traja, they actually gave her her first important role as princess while next to the opener. So, like, they really got to give her some more princess duties. They can't just duct tape a pair of wings on her, say she's a princess, and then just be like, oh, well, you're a princess, but you can still live in this crappy old library, and nobody's going to...
I agree. I think they should give her a few more royal duties, but I think, like, at the same time, they can't be having her be like...
Well, they can't change her, like, too much, but they can at least give her something to do, more or less.
Yeah,
like, ease her into it.
Yeah.
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 I think maybe that's probably what the season has been doing, that maybe that's foreshadowing what we're going to see in season 5. We're going to see her getting more princessly duties.
That's what I'm inclined to believe. I think season 4 as a whole is a transitional season. They're trying to ease the viewers into Twilight's new role. Because if you remember, one of the things that a lot of people in the fandom were afraid of, oh my god, Twilight's going to be completely different in season 4. She's a princess now. We're going to lose the adorable pony that we love. And the writers and Megan were like trying to ease all those fears, saying, no. She's still going to be the same adorable pony that you know and love. She's going to have some new responsibilities now, but she's not going to outlive her friends. She's not going to leave Ponyville. She's still going to be the same character that you know and love. And they were very truthful about that. That's more or less what happened. But as we end season 4, we see her starting to get more responsibilities. And I think, especially in the season finale, we'll probably see a lot more princess stuff from her soon. And then going into season 5, they'll definitely, ratchet that up when she gets her own castle and everything. I've already seen the leaked photo of that on the supposed future DVD cover on Dirt People Brew, and that thing was igniting a whole firestorm there in the comments, as you can imagine. But I don't mind having that happen. I think it's about time, though, that she does get more responsibilities. And unlike our host Flutters here, I never did have any issue with Twilight becoming a princess. The only thing I did have an issue with is I think it could have been held back a little bit later in the show. But, for how it did happen, I think the writers did a good job kind of putting it in there. So...
Well, like I've said in the past, I never really had a problem with the idea as a whole. I just had an idea that they rushed it to sell more toys. That's the problem I have. And we all know they did it because the Princess Twilight toys were in stores before the episode even aired. So it's kind of the same thing with, and this is very, very pushing it, but it's the same thing with Tank, Rainbow's pet. Hasbro made them put that in there because whoever ingenious idea it was way back in like the early Brushables or whatever, they put a tortoise in with Rainbow Dash as her pet. So whoever's ingenious idea that was, they were like, well, now we got to put it into the show because it's with the toys. Same with the friggin' balloon. That's only there to sell the toys. I mean, how often do you actually see that thing other than the intro? I think it's made an appearance in like 2, maybe 3 episodes at most.
Well, I mean, it was important in the earlier days, but now Twilight actually has wings. Go figure.
Oh yeah, and another thing going on that line, if you remember in season 1 when Lauren Faust was still heading the show, the train was carried by ponies, actually galloping across the line. But when season 2 and beyond, they changed it to a fully automated train for the toy that came out after that. So that's another. But you never really see that aside from a couple episodes and scenes, and mostly in the intro. So
the weird thing about the toy lines is the toy for the balloon actually says Twilight Sparkle's balloon. It's like, what the hell? She doesn't actually own that damn balloon. We don't know who owns that damn balloon, but I can tell you it's not Twilight Sparkle.
I think the name of the mare is one of the background mares. I think her name is Cherryberry. I believe that's who it is. The one with the blonde mane and the cherry cutie mark. I think because I think she had it once.
Well, you could be right, but at the same time, like that balloon was just there for anyone to use or rent or whatever. So who knows? The same with the train. Well, originally it was called Pinky's whatever, but then they later renamed it to the Friendship Express for obvious reasons, because who in their right minds would let Pinkie Pie conduct a train? I know
the insurance rates would be off the charts right there.
Instead of coal, we'll use cake.
Yeah, but
jeez.
All right, so now there's been a lot of rumors. And a lot of speculation, most of which was debunked as just simple April Fool's jokes. Those bastards. But there's been some evidence that suggests that some of those weren't exactly they were a double bluff. They were released on April Fools to throw us off, so we would think nothing more of it. But there is like some rumors out there floating around of Lauren returning to the show, at least for one episode. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's like the best thing ever, or like what?
If it's true, it'll be awesome, but I'm really doubtful.
I kind of have my doubts too, but
yeah.
But there's been like, I don't know, it's just something like, I'd love to see it myself, just because she's been gone for so long. Having the original creator come back, I would love to see what she could do, considering the what they've done with the show. Like, would she be able to still write for it and make it really good, considering all the changes they've made in her absence? That's the real question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit mixed on it, if it has any, like, actual credibility to it. I mean, it would be nice to have her back, because a lot of the episodes that she wrote in season 1 were fantastic. But, like, at the same time, I don't know. Like, I've always got this feeling that, like, with the fandom sort of bugging her year after year after year when she's been trying to move on, you know, from MLP at this point, that, you know, having her back, that, I mean, it would be nice for us, but what is she thinking about it in the end, though? Like, I don't know if she'd be 100% comfortable with it.
That's just
like, because I mean, she knows the fandom at this point. She knows, like, where it's gone. It was sort of her child at one point, but at this point, like, the fandom's gone beyond her. Like, I don't know if she'll be able to really do much to satisfy many other bronies anymore. I don't know. But then again, who knows? We can never know unless it actually happens, and I guess that's the main point.
I think that she will be able to do it. Just given her history and things that she's done in the past, I mean, we wouldn't even be here as bronies right now if it wasn't for her, because the way she rebooted the show, she just took something that has been hated for years, and she made it actually watchable to the point that we're here right now talking about it. So I have absolutely, like, no doubts that she can pull it off. It's just like, the whole thing is we still don't have the full details as to why she left in the first place. We have pieces of the puzzle, we have speculations, we have whatever. So, from what I've understood, and from what I've heard, and from what little I know, we all know that she left because Hasbro was pretty much trying to step in and be like, you do this, this, and this, and she didn't agree, so she just politely, you know, stepped down. Whether or not that's true, we don't know, because there's never been an official statement from her. There's only been, like, hints from her, or, like, whatever. Ed, what is your thoughts about this?
Well, I'm under the impression that I still hold to the position that she was kind of forced out, pressured out by Hasbro, because they wanted to take more control of it, and Lauren just wouldn't agree and wouldn't go along with this, so they kind of... Because if you remember her own words, it's like, I didn't want to leave, but I had to, and I don't regret leaving. But she certainly did regret not being able to continue on the show, but she didn't regret the choices she made to leave, because she felt she had no other alternative because of the environment that she was in, whatever that was. Yeah. I find it hard to believe that she would ever come back. I mean, I've heard so many times that Lauren she'd be like, even tweets from her own husband, like Phil McCracken. Like, I remember one time they interviewed him once, and she said something more along the lines of, well, you know, we don't even bring it up half the time, because whenever we do, she gets so broken up about it, she just gets depressed and doesn't want to talk about it, because it hurt her a lot. It hurt her a lot that she had to leave that show. I mean, it was something that she loved. Remember, she grew up with My Little Pony. It was something, when she was a little girl, she used to make up stories about that. We saw this in the BronyCon documentary, and like it was something really personal to her. She had great pride and joy in making the show. So when she had to leave, I can imagine it must have broke her heart. It must have really hit her hard. So I find it hard to believe that she'd come back. I mean, they would really have to give her a very nice financial offer. And even then, I think Lauren's got a lot of integrity that she wouldn't compromise to come back for the show if she felt that she was wronged in the first place. So I'm very skeptical that she'll come back even for an episode. If she does, I'd welcome it with open arms. I'd be thrilled. I know most of the fandom would be, and I have no doubt she could write an awesome season 5 premiere if that's what she was going to do, or whatever episode she would be working on. It would be an awesome episode. But I just don't see her coming back. I think it's a pipe dream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still skeptical about the whole thing. And by the way, I got to point out like something that you said that's hilarious. You said Phil McCracken. It's Craig McCracken. Phil McCracken.
Oh God, you're right. Darn it, Flutter, that's your fault because you did that troll account on Twitter calling yourself Phil McCracken. Look what you've done to my brain, man.
I know. That's just great.
Oh, wow.
It's like that one time a few shows back, well, I was talking about Grayson in the backpack, and I said Ethan in the backpack. Ethan of Alicorn Radio. I don't know how I mixed them up. Stop screwing up my mind, man.
I can't help but laugh because you said it, and I instantly started laughing because I'm like, Phil McCracken is the alias I use to troll people. It's not Lauren Faust.
Craig McCracken, there. It's been corrected. And it's still your fault, Flutters. You put that in my head.
I know. I know. I think the brainwashing process has worked. I feel so happy now. Alright, so another thing that was talked about, which is like totally not true, but let's talk about it anyway. Kimmy Sparkle getting a speaking role in season 5. How do you guys feel about that?
Well,
No.
we can end the show. No, not really, but no. Yeah, no. Why? I don't know why they would do that. I mean, really? Because I mean, it's a great little parody thing for the fandom, but like, just imagine the actual target demographic having to hear, "Oh, well, today," her talking in that voice. Oh my God. The little girls would be so confused. They'd be like, what is this scary lady? Or scary whatever. I mean, like, if okay, this is going to sound weird, but if I was a little girl and I was watching this show, I saw Kimmy Sparkle on there, I would be like, what is this? But no, like, just no. Like, it's nice if... It'd be nice to, have her, maybe her OC in there, like, just as a hint to the fandom, but to have an actual speaking role... no. Please, no.
I, for one, welcome the idea, just because I think it would be hilarious. Just to see the reaction of, like, not only, like, the fandom as a whole, but the target audience, because I do have, like, a young niece, as you all know. Well, so, like, just to see her reaction of it would be hilarious, too. So, I for one, welcome the idea, even though it's not true. Ed, what do you think?
Well, no, I'm with them. I mean... Be honest, like, you'd like that because, you're a huge fanboy of her work, Flutters. I know you're a fan of her video. I don't really follow her that much. I would be thrilled. Why does it have to be her? Why not have, Jesse Nowak and Eileen Monty do some roles? We know they can do pretty good voice work. I mean, just have Nowak as Vinyl Scratch and have Eileen Monty do an Octavia voice. I mean, I think the fandom would be thrilled to have a cameo like that, and I don't see any harm it would do. But, we have to be selective on people who can actually do good voice work. Like, you can be an amateur voice actor, but there's good ones and there's bad ones out there. If there are good ones in a fandom, which I know there are, pick those and put them in a cameo. Otherwise, stick to the tried and true formula. If you can't find any good ones, don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, So, I mean, it depends who they would get. But Kimmy Sparkle, nah.
Nah, come on. We totally have to have Kimmy Sparkle. I mean...
Yeah.
Fanboy alert!
Oh, just think about it. I mean, I'm still trying to get Kimmy Sparkle on this show with us. Just imagine that.
Yes.
So, like, you guys can't be saying bad things about her, or I'll have to kill you.
Oh, she's great. She's great. It's just on the show, I don't know.
I could seriously see it working, though. I really could. I mean, they could probably put her with Pinkie Pie and make a whole episode of it, and it would just work.
She could voice another one of Pinky's sisters that we haven't seen yet.
Oh God.
Just make a fourth sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a cousin
Keep
or
adding
something.
sisters on.
We'll just
No.
keep adding. We'll just keep adding sisters. We don't care if it's continuity or just another sister.
This is Pinkie Pie's fourth sister, twice removed, Coal Pie. She works in the coal mine. We haven't seen her yet.
Nah.
I thought you were
She
gonna
never
say
came out
cold.
for pictures.
Yeah, she never came out for pictures. She thought they would steal her soul. But but the thing is, like, Ed, for a minute there, I thought you were gonna say Colgate, and I'm like, no.
No.
Please don't.
Colgate is an awesome background pony, and I'd love her to be voiced, but I don't know who would do a good job for that. But
Rina-chan.
oh yeah, Rina-chan, of course.
Rina-chan.
Other than that, no one else. Rina-chan, yes, you're right. Other than that, no, I can't really think of anybody else I'd like to have, like, celeb or fandom celeb voices in the show. I mean, you got to be very careful with that because it can be a double-edged sword, because if you appease the fandom too much, then you might lose some of the charm of the show had originally without it. But if you don't throw any nods at the fandom, then you feel your fandom starts to feel like they're ignored. That's a bad thing too. So it's like a lot of other things. It's all about balance, and I trust that the staff will find a way to make things work out for the most part. So, but I don't know. Aside from that, Rina-chan, Jesse Nowak, Eileen Monty. Besides them, I can't really think of anybody else I'd like to see voice any characters.
Mm-hmm.
If they got Jesse Nowak, I'd be laughing the whole time as soon as I read her name in the credits because I can't help but giggle at her name. I know I'm very immature. It's just funny. I mean, I had people at Canterlot.com laughing about her name because of all the names in the world she could have possibly picked. She picked No Whacking. Which is
well, she did that. I maintain she did it on purpose because of the fact that it's funny and that it catches your attention with that username. I maintain that she did that for that reason.
Oh, she probably did. I mean, I couldn't help but, like I said, I couldn't help but giggle like a 5-year-old every time I heard her name at the con. I was somewhere laughing.
Because you are a 5-year-old deep down, Flutters. That's just the thing.
This is true. This is true. This is why I'm 25 years old.
He's a 5-year-old boy trapped in a 25-year-old man's body. Something happened. I don't know. It was a lobotomy. I don't know.
There were more rumors, though.
Yeah, there was a lot of rumors. There was the Lauren Faust, the Kimmy Sparkle. I'm trying to think what the hell else there was because there was
the most controversial one, the one about Flash Sentry possibly marrying Twilight. That whole joke scene that Emmy Larson did on Twitter that you maintain is probably true.
Yeah, it probably is true. I mean, I wouldn't be a bit surprised simply because I just know. I just got this feeling that's just gonna happen. And besides, they found out about you, so they're like, "Oh, we gotta irritate this guy, so we're gonna put him in."
Oh, come on!
You've got to mess with this one guy in particular.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are a ton of other people who would feel the same way about Flash Sentry that I do. We have a little army.
I seriously don't know why so many people hate Flash Sentry. I mean, I didn't think that he did anything wrong for the hatred he got. There are far other.
In all seriousness, he's kind of a bland character. I don't hate him. I play off and joke about whatever. I just think the way he was portrayed in Equestria Girls, like we talked about many shows ago, that he is a bland character in the way he was portrayed. He was a stereotype cardboard cutout. He had no personality. But we didn't really get to see much of the pony version of him.
Yeah,
so maybe they can make him a better character down the road. I don't know, but from what I have seen, I'm not very thrilled about his character.
As we already know, he's already returned in season 4, and I remember the fandom going apeshit about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and 3's a crowd. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he didn't even say anything. He was just there, and people were just going off the walls about it.
Well,
oh my god, the world's gonna blow up.
Well, I think what
I
think what the whole problem was that little like smile and wink he gave to Twilight, indicating that hey, he was more or less indicating that hey, you want to jump in bed later, and I'm just thinking, oh okay.
Oh my god.
No. Oh,
Yes,
that can be
yes, I
interpreted
went there.
that way, but I don't see that as whatever. I don't know what that expression was.
Did he
It
wink?
felt,
I didn't even see
he
that.
didn't wink. He just smiled, but it was never clear what he was smiling at. He just did, and he
Twilight's-
walked back in the train without a word. Twilight didn't even notice he was there. It's like he
Oh,
was
she
invisible.
noticed. She noticed. She noticed. Oh, if you
No,
wasn't,
she did not. She
Eh,
was
okay.
talking to Cadence.
okay, well, fine. If you don't know what he was looking at, because you say you don't want to, I'll tell you. He was looking at Twilight's plot, and he was just thinking,
Oh my
No.
god!
he was just thinking,
No,
damn,
remember,
I
we
wanna
don't do
tap that.
headcanon in here. No.
No, that's not headcanon. That's just actually what happened. If you look at the reflection in his eye, you can clearly see Twilight's butt.
No, you can.
And he was
No,
just
you
thinking,
can't.
Yeah, they're reflections.
No.
There's photographic proof.
yeah, I can prove. I'll show you the proof later. I will seriously
Yeah.
show
There is
you.
Photoshop proof.
Exactly.
Definitely Photoshop proof.
Exactly.
Yeah, Photoshopped. Emphasis on Photoshop.
Oh my god!
We're a crazy bunch here, aren't we? But seriously, though.
Mainly you. Mainly you.
Yeah, well, seriously though, I don't get the Flash Sentry hate. I get that he was a generic character, but there's no reason to hate him.
Because he's a waifu stealer or an attempting waifu stealer.
Just because you have delusions that your OC is dating Twilight
I
doesn't mean you get to complain.
It's the other people who actually see her as see him as like stealing their waifu. Like they're the ones who are really upset about it. And you didn't see me like saying dumb things or issuing death threats like some of those guys did, which is way
we did
out of
hear
line.
you.
Oh, yeah.
We did hear you uttering things. Well, the audience that on Eloquent Radio and the viewers on YouTube, they never heard you, but me and Mond both heard you in calls a lot of times. So you're outnumbered on that. So,
Whatever you heard selectively out of context is another story, but I can assure you, no.
Okay,
I just want to clarify it before we move on that she is my favorite pony and like she is best princess, which a lot of people are going to kill me for. I'm sorry, Luna's second best. Send the death threats to me now, not just to Flutters. I know. Other than that, she's my favorite pony. And that's it, and nothing more. There's nothing else there. I'm not like that one guy who married the plush and will break somebody's neck if they even touch his plush. I'm not like that, so whatever. But yeah, I mean that's all I gotta say in case closed. Moving on now to our next subject,
which is still pony shipping because I just remembered one of the other rumors. One of the other rumors was that Pinkie Pie is going to have a cult friend throughout all of season
that
5.
thing!
oh boy,
So, what is your thoughts about that?
in before his cheese sandwich.
In before it's like, I don't know, some generic. In before it's bulk biceps. I got my money.
God.
I got my money on bulk biceps.
Oh god! Why?
What do you guys think of that though? Like, do you think that any of the ponies should eventually hook up with somebody, or do you think they should just remain single so they can date your OCs because you guys have weird headcanons?
I don't know.
I'm going with single, but not for that reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't see it as like, all right, why do they even need to put something like that in the show? It just seems very pointless and, well, stupid.
Yeah. I could see it. I could see it
I mean,
either way.
Yeah, I mean, I like Flutters. I could see it either way, but I don't know. Like Pinkie Pie having, oh god, I don't know who would be even able to manage Pinkie Pie's madness. Like
Me, I'll do it.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Let's bring in Fluttershy 1989
Yes.
and his OC into the Ponyverse. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
he's supposed to be shipped with Fluttershy, not Pinkie Pie. You're doing it all wrong.
I'll take them. I'll take them
Same
both.
voice actor.
Same voice actor.
You
Oh.
can't have more than one mayor. No.
Why not?
Anyway, so it's just yeah, I don't know about it. I mean, like, it would be like maybe an interesting thing for her to wrestle with in an episode, but like for it to be a running thing, it's like I don't know. That's like almost effectively bringing like, I don't know, another person into the main six, and it's not the main six anymore, because like when you have a special someone, you make them a main part of your life. It's not like you can just sort of like have them there for, like 1 minute and then, oh, well, okay, I don't need you now. So cool. It's like it doesn't work that way. And like to have that there would kind of mess up the dynamic that they have now. I mean, it'd be interesting to see it, but at the same time, it could screw up how the show works.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I could see it both ways. But, like, if they were going to do it, suppose that they actually go somewhere with Equestria Girls and they make it a spin-off. Like a legitimate spin-off other than just movies. What if they did it there? It would probably make more sense there than it would as ponies, maybe?
That's true, because it is a different setting. It's a high school setting, and we don't know the ages of the ponies. It's harder to really gauge that. So we know that in the other universe, the Camelot High universe, like they're teenagers, yeah. So it would make more sense there.
Yeah. If it was in the Equestria Girls area, all right, I'm cool with that. In the pony world, no.
Not a big fan of shipping.
No, I don't mind shipping, but after hundreds and hundreds of requests of shipping, no more.
Yeah. I mean, think about it this way, guys. Like we review and we speculate. Like Grenadder here has to draw stuff time after time after time, and it's like, oh, the things I've seen, probably like
I cannot unsee.
I can only imagine the requests you've had, and sometimes I can safely say I feel sorry for you because I know what people are capable of at times.
Yes.
But seriously though, just a quick question: how many times would you say you've had someone ask you to draw like some kind of like R34? Have you ever had requests for that?
I get at least one a week. I became pretty strict on it. It's like most people ask, "Oh, can you draw Rule 34 stuff?" and that's their first question. I just say no. It stops right there. But every once in a while, I'll get one or two people. I just open up my DA, say, "Oh, I've got a note." Click on it, and very in-depth description of everything.
Oh god!
And I was like, "Oh, okay. What's this okay, I'm gonna erase that and ignore that." Even
it's like, what the hell is this? This abomination of a note.
I can only imagine, and seriously, I kind of feel bad that you have to see some things because, as we've all stated here on this show in the past, we're all okay with the Rule 34 side, but if you're going to do it respectively and don't go to people that clearly don't deal with Rule 34. If you want it, go to somebody else. Like, that's something I have to, just get out there to all of our viewers. If you're going to be into that stuff, please go to the appropriate artists. And again, keep it to yourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, if you don't know if an artist is the appropriate one, just ask. Don't give detailed descriptions. Just say, do you do Rule 34? Yes? No? No? Okay, find someone else.
Yeah. It's always... Oh, go ahead.
Don't force it on someone. I've had some very pushy requests.
Yeah, I mean, when you dive in the world of DeviantArt in general, you can get a lot of weird requests for weird stuff. But yeah, Grenadder knows that firsthand, obviously. But I would say that's got to be horrifying sometimes because you'll probably get this really just the words that are in the note separated, yes, they would be fine, but when they're put together, it's like, oh my god, what has he done? Sort of that situation. Just like an eldritch abomination of a note.
Yeah, I've had the most noteworthy one. I had to read it a couple times just because the guy had great writing skills for the worst possible thing.
Oh god!
I have no problem with Rule 34 stuff. I just don't want to draw it.
Yeah.
Ever. But just even by Rule 34 standards, this was just what's going on. I don't want to know.
Oh, God.
Just blanket. Nope, can't get rid of it. Stuff there.
Oh God, I can only imagine. But
You can go. Sorry.
I forget what I was gonna say, so you can go. Or
Flutters, do you want to keep going with the season 5 stuff, or do we want to do the interview stuff?
well, we could do, I guess, because I can't think of much more to say about season 5 that we haven't really covered from what we
It
want
will
to
most
see.
likely have ponies. It
Yes.
should have ponies. We don't know yet.
we can definitely confirm that ponies should be a factor of season 5.
Yes.
You heard it here, folks. Breaking news. We got it before Equestria Daily. Ponies are confirmed for season 5. So
Yes.
get hyped.
Yes.
I think EQD still beat us to the punch on that one.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
But we can dream. Anyway, well, I don't know. Ed and I really know a lot about the work, but I guess I don't know. I'll go first, I guess. So yeah, as you know, Grenadder, I talked with you on DeviantArt like several times before this.
Yep.
Yeah, so like I have so much of your artwork, and I have to say, I really do love it. It's just like you have an interesting style that no one else really has, and it's like it's close to the show style, but like you have certain features on the ponies that are like more accentuated. Like I always noticed like the hooves were always a little bit more larger and stuff, and
Yes.
it adds like a little nice touch to it, and I get stuff, and I've noticed with several of your pictures though, like that I guess you have interesting like I guess settings for your pictures, like it with the with a few of the Luna ones, and I think there's one called Lights with Luna, and then Night Lights with Fluttershy, and then Late Night Observation with Twilight. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like it's interesting because like they're so like serene and so beautiful. I don't know, like it's just interesting because like it's not even only that, like with the lighting and everything. There's also like a bunch of like a lot of, it's very layered, like because you see the pony a lot of the times. The ponies will be in the foreground, and then in the midground there's sort of maybe like the sky or something, and in the background you sort of see certain features like landscapes. Like in the Late Night Observation thing, there's mountains in the background. You can even see the snow and like how it's like sort of forming on the mountain and everything. And even with the few of the CMC pictures, you can see different little details in the background. And I don't know, I'd like to know, probe your mind, like how do you approach your artwork in general?
Well, normally with some of these ideas, I just tend to say, all right, which character do I want next? Mm-hmm. And most of the time I just cycle through the main 6, go through all of them, just pick which one I want. Or sometimes I just get a random little idea in my head, like one of my only Celestia drawings, Day to Night.
Mm-hmm.
I would provide a link, but I really can't.
Right. No.
I just had the idea of, all right, what happens when Luna goes off and Celestia is stuck alone again for the night?
Right.
And I just wanted to see what I could do with that image.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen that image. It's really interesting. Yeah, because she's sort of, I don't know exactly what the expression on her face is, but it's like very sort of like, I guess pensive almost in a way, thoughtful. But
originally when I was going with that one, I was thinking more like relieved, like Luna's back, and like able to get some rest finally instead of being the one in charge of everything day to night.
Right.
But yeah, things like that are most of the time are what I go into my drawings.
Okay, so yeah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a general mood I want to get, and then build it up off of that.
All right, yeah, okay, I see. So you build sort of from the ground up, sort of something general to sort of the specific.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And another thing that I want to point out before Ed can, sort of get his questions in, I noticed when I think, I don't even know, it might have been a month or two ago, you started doing a different style with some of your pictures. You started doing more sort of realistic.
Yes.
Sort of, that's the best way to describe it. Realistic. You've sort of been drawing them less stylized and more like atomically correct for what a pony would actually look like. And it's interesting because like you still keep the like there's still something really distinct about them that like it doesn't just look like it looks nice. There's a nice mixture of like, I mean, I guess there's a nice mixture of stylization and what would you call it? I guess like sort of just true to, I guess, life form and stuff like that. I don't know. I
like true to real life, the real life form of a horse mixed with the cartoony style that the show has.
Exactly. That's what I was going for. Yeah. I mean, like, actually, and I've been wondering this. What prompted that decision? Was it just like you just wanted to try something else, or like anything specific?
In all honesty, it was to shut up a lot of people who are giving me crap about the hooves. Like on every single drawing I would post to Reddit, Tumblr, DA not so much. That one they tended to stay pretty positive there. I always got at least one comment complaining about the hooves. And then as you notice, I started with an AJ piece for that.
Right.
And then but before that I had a Scootaloo one. And that one got me so many negative comments, it kind of just, I snapped a little bit. I'm like, all right, that's it. Screw it. You're getting realistic horses just to shut you all up.
Bravo.
But most of the style change was at first to shut people up. And then at the end, like after the AJ one, I decided to work with it more and see what I could get out of it.
And I mean, like, what I've noticed is that it works. It definitely works. I mean, I think, like, I forgot what it was for, but, like, you were giving away, like, a copy of the one you did a Pinky in the more realistic style or something. There was, like, a raffle or something for it.
I don't
know if I'm remembering correctly, but...
I actually made that a print for BabsCon.
Right, yeah,
And... unfortunately didn't sell that well. No one really was buying Pinky there. But I put it into the charity auction there, and it was in a bundle group with 2 prints from JJ, which took like the center spotlight. But they sold for $250.
Nice.
That's mainly what was going around that one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I saw that and I'm like, interesting. But yeah, Ed, do you have any questions?
I was just wondering because, like, I can tell when it's the Grenadder pick from a long way away. I see you have this really unique art style, and I've always thought to myself, what was the reason? Is there any reason why you kind of like draw the hooves in a unique way that you do? I mean, personally, I like it. I mean, I find it like just got this unique charm to it. But is there any real reason why you draw them that way, or is it just something that was second nature that you just never really thought much of, and it just kind of you just put it together automatically and you just went with it?
Well, initially when the big hooves started to show up, I just kept them because people kept saying, oh, these look really cute. Oh, I like how the hooves are coming out. It's like, okay, I wonder if I can work with this. And then I just spent a long time studying them, trying to work with anatomy, get it to work, and I eventually developed it into what I have now. So it just spontaneously started, and I just went with it because I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's I find it to be really charming, and it adds to the cuteness factor. And like, I mean, I'm on your DA right now, and I'm scrolling through your gallery, and I love pics like Boop of Sunshine with Sweetie Belle and Rarity. That's really that's an adorable pic. And then of course, Curiosity, because because it's got best pony in it, but and recollection also. And the latest one you've got on here, Wonders of the Woods with Zecora. That's a really beautiful scene right there. Is there do you have any preference for settings? Because I noticed you tend to use a lot of the ponies. You put them in a lot of natural settings. I don't see them so much in more kind of urbanite environments or whatever. Is there any reason for that?
Well, most of the time I just don't tend to think with cities. I can picture stuff, but then they get too busy, and I just really don't want to. I just can't visualize a pony in a city that well. Occasionally, I can put them in Ponyville where there's some houses, not many other ponies around, and but I just don't have any ideas that focus around a city setting.
Mm-hmm. And what is it? What is? Okay, go ahead.
I just prefer the woods the most. Those are just a nice place to work with in drawings.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be inclined to agree because I guess when you think about the ponies in the main stakes, a lot of Equestria, yeah, we see that they have towns and cities, but it's still very much intermingled very naturally. It flows very naturally with the environment, and I guess that's a big part of equestrian society is that their buildings don't so much like intrude or you know kind of like get in the way of nature. They kind of more coexist in a very peaceful, natural way. And I guess that's very easy to come to mind when you're going to do art for any of the ponies that you put them in more natural settings. So I can see that definitely does make sense. As an artist in general, what is it like working, in the fandom and creating stuff? And what is the whole experience like being an artist as opposed to like for a lot of us just being a regular, like a brony watching and enjoying what's put out there? Like on the other side of the fence, what is it like to be like creating art in the fandom?
Well, it all depends on what area you go in with the artist. If you're just making art for fun, really not caring about it, it can be really relaxing as long as you don't listen too much to the outside people. Just enjoy the compliments, have fun with it. It can be really relaxing and fun. But some people I know run Ask blogs, and it can be incredibly stressful for them, but really rewarding because you get tons of you can get fan mail, you can get tons of compliments, but then you also get the other side who decide to send death threats, hate mail, just be very unpleasant. You kind of see the whole spectrum of the fandom for the most part. But another thing I've run into on the artist side is like drama between artists. You kind of run into that one after a little while, especially if you start going into convention scenes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, what do you mean by like that? Is there like I mean, I get that when you go to conventions, all the artists are trying to compete in a sense to try to get money and try to, to pay off the expenses of being at the con and also as kind of like a livelihood in some instances. But I always kind of thought more or less that you guys are kind of like, you get along well because you're all part of the same fandom and you all have basically the same core interest in the show and ponies and all. But is there really, is that something that happens a lot, or is that just something that's once in a while kind of flares up?
It's the latter. It's every once in a while you'll get some, like one or two artists that just butt heads, and it causes a lot of friction. But for the most part, all artists are really friendly with each other, or love talking with each other, hanging out. But there are always little groups of artists, and sometimes they intermingle, sometimes they don't. Like I'm friends with the Paper Pony people, the guys who make the shadow boxes.
Oh, nice.
And they're amazing people, very nice to talk with. Had a lot of fun with them at BabsCon. And I've met Leakfish, I've met Brayburn, but I think he's finally starting to recognize me. And I've introduced my friend V-Rest Tupper into the convention scene. And but then I've run into some artists where just as people, I love every artist I've met. They're great people. But when it comes to the convention scene, that good nature does not shine through. It becomes very like hostile, and I just don't want to deal with some people there.
But I mean, I would hope that doesn't overshadow your enjoyment of these cons. For the most part.
No, I love it, and like it it's just a minor thing that happens now, and it's like, okay, I can just brush this off and get on with my day and love what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you prefer more? Do you enjoy more just doing your own work from scratch, or do you enjoy making commissions more?
My own work for sure. Just because I can have a lot of freedom with it, but with commissions, they can be fun. Sometimes you get people who say, I just want this character to have fun with it. They're rare, but when those types of commissions show up, it's a lot of fun. You can really dive into it and make some great stuff. But for the most part, commissions are, I want my OC doing this, or I want this. It's very linear, very closed off, and you just get to draw that. But with my own work, I can make whatever I want, really.
Yeah, that's true. And I've got just one last question before I want to toss it to Flutters to give him a chance to ask you some stuff. Very important question here. And if you get it wrong, well, oh well. No, just kidding. But in all seriousness, who is best pony?
Ooh, I'm gonna say my favorite is Scoots. I love Scootaloo. But all the ponies, it's almost impossible for me to pick. Mm-hmm. Like, which is the best of the best? Because I'll have to go with Twilight so far.
Oh, very good answer.
But all the others are so damn close. I can't really tell.
Yeah. I mean, in all seriousness, whenever somebody says best pony, usually they're it's all in good fun and all. I've lately kind of changed. When somebody asks me, I've kind of changed to just saying my favorite pony, because sometimes I think it can be a little bit too far and people can misinterpret when you say best pony, because maybe some people really think that. I've never thought that way, but I mean, yeah, Twilight's my fave, but I love all the main six and them equally. I mean, they're all great characters, but you do get bonus points for saying Twilight, though. For me, I will do that. So, Flutters, if you want to ask Grenadder any questions.
Let me think here. First of all, he said Twilight, so that's just awful. No, just kidding. I will haunt you forever for saying such things. No.
Ask me tomorrow. I might have a different answer.
No, I'm just kidding. There's not really a whole lot left that I can ask that the guys haven't already asked you. And again, you do have a very unique style. I do love your work. My question is what do you charge for commissions usually? Like, what's your going prices?
Well, I will be. Unfortunately, they are going to be closing for the next month because I have to start work. But it tends to be like basic sketch $5, and the most expensive thing can be anywhere from $35 to about $50. Just bad. It depends on how much work I have to put into it. I've had one guy try to do like 7 characters, like having a party, and he wanted to pay $25.
Oh,
and it was like basically the same quality of my latest stuff. It's like, I can't do that for $25. It's like, I'm going to be working on that for 3 days. That's not much to go off of.
Yeah. I can see that being a problem. I know that some people, and I've seen it happen. I saw it at Cantor.con after Mod left. I saw somebody like really trying to negotiate a $10 print. I'm like, it's fucking $10. Just pay the $10 or walk away. It's like it's like the print is already amazing quality and it's only $10 and you're really trying to pay half the price for it. It's just like, my God. Like there's like it's just like, what is wrong with you? Like, have some respect for the artists. If they I mean, they're already at $10 it was practically a steal because like most of the art that I saw there was damn good and was probably worth more than the $10 they were asking. So, but well, now that I have like the general price, and well, I know that commissions are closed. I'll just name a couple of the ones that I have up that I really like. One, like I have them in my favorites. One of them is Potential Flying Buddies. I really like what you got going on there with Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy. The style of it, there's the whole setting. It just works on a level that is beyond what I can even explain. Like, amazing job on that. Another one that I have of yours in my favorites is Autumn Joy. Again, just I can't even put into words at how good this is. It's just, you are so damn talented that it's just unbelievable. Another one that I have up of yours is Hearts, which looks like a more recent one with the CMC. Again, just incredible, absolutely incredible. Like, I seriously keep up the good work. And then
thank you.
And then the last one I have that's up on my screen right now, of course, I'm biased and I gotta pick a Fluttershy one, and that's Fluttershy's new style. That one, just freaking amazing, and if you offer that in a print, I'll gladly buy it. I mean, I'll pay anything for it. Just name your price.
One soul.
You must sign it in blood, or there's not a fair transaction.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes to get that print, I'll do that.
It's like you must sign your soul over to him. No.
I must ask, in case we do forget, it's something important. What are the cons that you will be attending this year that you'll be vending at? So for all of our listeners and for ourselves, because I do know that you'll be at BronyCon. I do know Mon and I will be there. We'll definitely be looking to get some stuff from you over there. But what cons are you going to this year?
Well, I will physically be at Everfree and BronyCon. And I've been working with the Traveling Pony Museum lately, and they're going to be showcasing a lot of my stuff at a lot of the conventions they're going to. I can actually pull up the list that they told me earlier. The head of the Traveling Pony Museum sent me a link for all their stuff, and now I can't find it. Crap. But, I will be at Nightmare Nights.
Yeah, that's right.
If they cut their vendor list in half. That was just a great convention, a nightmare for vendors.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
But I was at BabsCon, which you all know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all the cons I'm doing. Everfree and BronyCon. And BronyCan, I think I'm going to have some prints being showcased there.
Nice.
And what kind of prints will you have at BronyCon in particular? Will you be having a wide collection of your works, or more recent stuff, or a mix of all?
Well, I will be. Well, last year I was incredibly over anxious for BronyCon, and I bought way too many prints. So those are all the stock I had last year will be coming back, except for one or two little pieces. And a lot more recent work will be showing up. The latest Zecora one I did, that will be showing up.
Nice.
And it'll be making its debut at Everfree.
Very nice.
And the Pinky one, the realistic Pinky, that one's coming back at BronyCon.
That's good.
Awesome.
All right. Nice thing to look forward to.
Yep.
Definitely.
It's a shame I can't.
One other thing, though, with BronyCon, I think I'm allowed to announce this. Screw it, I'm going to.
All right.
Me and a group of my friends, we are going to be doing the How to Draw panel.
Ooh.
How to Draw with the MLP Drawing School.
Wow.
We actually got the panel for BronyCon. We were really surprised about that.
Wow. Awesome.
We're also doing the Everfree one, so if people go to that, we'll be there too.
All I have to say is, this gonna be good.
Mon, I think we already found our first panel that we should definitely attend and together, and because it sounds like it's going to be awesome. So they haven't released the actual schedule yet, but we know of one panel already that we need to schedule for, because that sounds like something we need to see.
These lucky bastards.
We'll bring you something. Yes, we will.
Yes. And I think Ed, you probably plan to have like a video camera by then, so you'll you'll probably film it or something.
Well, I do
Hopefully,
plan
yeah.
to. I plan to
They will.
if everything works out to get a video of like if you guys remember his vlogs like what Little Shy did last year. I plan to do something similar to that. Get a whole summary of my whole trip, and I do want to like shoot obviously the vendor hall, and we'll be sure to bring you some things from near Flutters, so you'll have, and we'll try to get it signed by Andrea Libman and all that some of that stuff.
Mhm.
Well, I might have an idea. I'll look into it, and I'm entrusting you with it, so you better not break it. But I'll see what I can do about shipping you my camera and my equipment to use, because mine's pretty. Well, you know what quality I have and how much time. I
Yeah,
have,
I know. I know firsthand. Yeah.
So, like, if I can ship it to you, Ed, or whatever, I can just. Actually, I know exactly how I can do it. I can give it to Mond right after I take the footage off from Con Bravo. I can give my camera and equipment to Mond, and he can take it down to you to use. And then I'll just have to figure out how much it's going to cost to ship it back to me in Canada. And then like all the footage you have and whatever, I can edit for you, and we can put it up on like YouTube.
That'd be awesome. It sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. That's the plan.
Lots of awesome first-time announcements on here already.
It's like damn it all. If I can't be there, I'll at least get my camera there.
That way, your spirit will be there, trapped in the camera with us. I don't know how that works, but it'll be there. So you'll be there, but in spirit, and then the camera will be given back to you, and you can work your magic because you are pretty good at editing, and we will have a awesome vlog kind of thing going on there. So definitely, and I mean, I don't know, like I'm thrilled that you're going to be doing that panel there, Grenadder. It sounds really awesome, and definitely you're one of the top booths that I'm gonna have to check out over there. And if I can find a way, to get some space on my wall, because I don't have that much left. I can get 1 or 2 prints fitted on there. Damn it, I'll find a way to do it.
That's what the ceiling is for.
Yeah.
Yes.
I might have to do that at this point because if there aren't wallpapers or prints on my walls, and there's pony stickers and a bunch of other stuff. So I'll figure it out somehow, because those prints are it'd be criminal for me not to buy one.
What the hell happened?
Lovely.
There it goes.
So
Yes.
many technical difficulties. Oh my god.
Darn it! Who let Derpy control Skype tonight? I don't know.
At first,
Sorry
I thought it
about
was
that.
on my end. I was like, "What the hell?"
No, it's all good. Just keep going. Keep it rolling.
We're good.
We're all
We're
here.
good. Yes.
Okay, so who was talking about what? Because it totally cut.
Oh, I was just finishing up. Like, I loved his work. I'm excited about the panel, and I definitely got to find a way to get some of his prints.
Yeah.
And by some way, I'll find a room to put it on my wall, or whatever, because it'd be criminal for me not to get 1 or 2 of them, because they're it's just gorgeous art. So
Well, absolutely. It would be absolutely criminal for you not to get one of his prints. I mean, he took valuable time out of his day to be on the show with us, so you absolutely have to buy one.
yes, and if I don't, 50 years, Duncan.
Exactly. But in all seriousness, though, we're pushing the hour and 30-minute mark here, so I think it's time that we call this show a wrap. So, thanks everyone for watching, and a very special thanks to Grenadder for being on with us. And you're more than welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're more than welcome back on this show anytime. We are going to make you an honorary member of the Flutter Brigade. So,
Woohoo!
So yes, you're more than welcome to be on our show in future episodes. And for anyone who's eventually going to see this on YouTube, there will be a link to Grenadder's Deviant Art on YouTube in the description. So be sure to check out his work, because he does absolutely amazing work, and you should definitely buy it. Any last thoughts from you guys before we shut this thing down?
Nope. Not that I can think of.
Nope.
Oh, I'm all good.
Alright, so thanks again for everyone who watched, and thanks again to our YouTube viewers, and good night.